How would you like to have an unwavering confidence that is so great and is so loud that you can walk into almost any room and look like you belong there? That you're able to be in a group of people and others quite literally are so insanely curious about who you are, what you do, and how you can help them before they even know your name, before they even know an offer that you might have for them. That is possible for you, and it comes with a new identity. And it comes with an identity of sales girl and being sales girl certain. And I'm so excited to break down for you 3 things that you can do to develop this sales girl certainty that you become irresistibly charismatic no matter where you go. I just went on a 5-day brain bender. I was with Myron Golden for my VIP day. I did an interview with him. I got on a jet with Myron Golden to go to Russell Brunson's Inner Circle event in Boise, Idaho. And I just had the most amazing time. My brain is still oozing with thoughts and ideas, and I made so many connections. It was such a beautiful, amazing experience. Of course, we shared it all on Instagram as well as in Sales Girl Social, which is our daily newsletter. I got a question on Instagram based on the play-by-play of what was going on. And I want to read it here. And this is where this content is coming from. It says, I need content on how sales skills gives you the confidence to be in these types of rooms and in these conversations that make a difference. You may be low-key freaking out, but you look like you expect to be there. And that is the energy. When I read that, my thought was, first of all, I 100% expect to be here. And the reason it's coming off that way is because I am insanely certain. I don't have a single margin of doubt that my offer, that what I can help people with, and the mastery of sales skills that comes with working with me is the very thing that changes your life. I believe it with all my heart. Now, I haven't always believed it. That's what I want to tell you about getting to this point of this level of certainty where I feel like I could walk on any stage, be in any room, and talk to any person and sell them on believing the same things that I believe. Now, why those beliefs? So people act in accordance to not what they want, but how they see themselves. How they see themselves is the identity that they carry. The identity that they carry comes from the beliefs that they have about themselves. All a belief is a repeated thought over and over and over. So is a belief true or not true? Who really knows? What matters is, do you believe that it's true? When I'm communicating with people, there is always a little accent, a little flavor of selling them on the beliefs that they need to believe to identify as a person that ends up taking action on my offer. Now, I know that might have sounded a little complicated, and it's really not when you have sales skills. It's something that you do like this. It's actually how you talk all the time. But the process of becoming that person who's able to talk like this is the exact process that helps me to have this level of certainty. So in Russell's Inner Circle, you're actually asked to come with a 21-minute presentation, which I had no idea that that was the case until a couple days before the event. I got the email that said, hey, come with a 21-minute presentation. I was like, oh, first of all, I heard the word presentation. And if you know me, you know I love a presentation, baby. I was so excited about that. You had to give a introduction, a give, like a piece of value, and then an ask at the end, like an ask for help. I knew what room I was walking into. I was walking into the funnel world. If you know Russell Brunson, you know it's all about online marketing and all about funnels. Now, funnels can be a little bit more of like a tactic, strategy, mindset. People in that room are really quick to share the strategy and the tactics that they use, which is so insanely helpful. It is my belief that someone that has sales skills can make any tactic and strategy work. And so I knew that whatever I was going to share, it was probably going to be a little bit different, something that they're not really used to hearing, because I wanted to sell them on why they should do something called a live challenge. And a challenge is basically just a sales process. You know, these people are not unfamiliar with a challenge, okay? It's very common to do it in the funnel world. And it is also very common to have conversations about the strategy of automating a challenge, doing something called evergreening, which is basically like, how can the challenge run without you needing to be there? And let me tell you something, your girl is always looking for leverage. I am all about leveraging everything that you have to be able to make the most of your time. I also believe that the process in which you go through is how your mind is refined. It's not the strategy you find, it's the process in which you go through that your mind becomes refined. This concept of live challenges, like selling them on doing challenges live every single time, because I want them to go through the process of selling all the time so that they can develop the certainty that comes from selling. It's so funny because I was the last person to go. You went to breakout rooms, you did your presentation, and then they voted best of each room, and then that best of presented to the whole group. So I was one of the best ofs, and I was the very last one to present of the whole day of all the best ofs. And the person right before me was talking about evergreen challenges and automated challenges, and I did not hear him talk at all. And I just came back and just sold live challenges and why you should not do evergreen challenges. It's just so funny that stark difference of do it automated and do it live. But whatever you practice at, you become a master of. Whether you're practicing procrastinating, you're going to get good at procrastinating. You practice selling, you're going to get really, really good at selling. It's interesting because once I got off the stage, someone pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, I loved your presentation." And he's like, "I want to offer a challenge to you, a debate, and to see what you think. I think this could be a really good conversation." I said, "Absolutely, bring it on." And he said, "I believe that if you are really good at marketing, you can bypass sales." That was his like objection to me, which we're about to talk about objections in just a second. So hold that thought. He said, "I think that, you could be really good at marketing, bypass sales." And I said, "I 100% see that. In fact, there are hundreds and thousands of people in Russell's world that only know how to do funnels and make millions and millions of dollars. That is 100% true. And when you go through the process of mastering sales skills, you become someone that is so certain, that is so sold, and people buy from sold people. People buy from certain people. There's a level of confidence that comes with certainty. And I can promise you, the confidence that I had personally walking into the inner circle room, that paid off more than any strategy I've ever learned. I had more conversations with the right people. I made more connections with the right people. I'm able to have more potential future business partner relationships from the confidence, not from any strategy that I've implemented, but from my ability to communicate with them the value of working together in some capacity. That's what I want for people. Like, I want them to be ninja funnel people all day long, but I want them to do that with a level of confidence that can be unwavering. So I want to talk to you specifically about how selling develops that certainty and what you need to focus on when it comes to selling, right? There's a million sales things that you can do. You can focus on getting information and getting conversations and getting attention and handling doubts and visualizations and just getting the sale. Like, there's a million things that you can focus on. But the one thing that is, in my opinion, that you should focus on to build the sales girl certainty, it is handling objections. Yes, handling objections. It's not even just handling them, it's looking for them, seeking them and finding them and being excited to handle them. So here's how the sales process works. There's two islands, right? There's your island right here, and then there's your prospect's island. This is you and your island. The way I would describe it is you've had these epiphany moments where what you have is game changing. It is the offer. When someone questions you, your face kind of goes like this. You're like, "What? Why wouldn't you do this?" Like, that's how I feel about sales skills. So when that person said, "Hey, you can bypass selling with marketing," my internal face was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I couldn't believe he thought that because I am so locked in on this side of the bridge. And then you have a prospect. Now, your prospect is not so sure. Your prospect is looking at you like, "I see that you believe this, but I have a few things that I believe as well." So that's a perfect example of what the guy told me. He said, "I think you can bypass selling, my island, when you stick with marketing," which was his island, right? And so we're on two different islands. Like, he sees me and he's voicing to me an objection. And my job as a sales girl is to help him see that there's another way. Now, there's all these steps that someone could take. There's all these beliefs that people have that they not only need to have, but they also need to break. Have you ever heard of a mindset block? Hello, anybody? I know I've heard of it. This is a perfect demonstration of a mindset block. There is a block in the way that is keeping them from seeing an island that's worth living on. Okay. And so my job as a sales girl is to kind of come and meet him where he is on the bridge, partner with him, and walk him over to my island over the process. Now, this process could take one conversation, it could take 20, it could take 10 years to guide someone over the bridge. But when you're a ninja at sales skills and you're able to prove your case over and over and over, you could do it with simply one interaction. And ultimately, he ended up agreeing with me and said, "Oh, yeah, that's a really good point." And so when you're looking for objections in conversations, here's what's happening. You're finding where all the mindset blocks are, you're meeting them where they are, and you're going over their bridge over and over and over. In every conversation, you're having to meet them and bring them over the bridge. Now, I notice a lot of people, what ends up happening is they have this epiphany moment where they're like, my offer is game changing. I 100% had that. I had it in Starbucks. It was like a "that's so Raven" moment where I saw the vision, I saw the future, and I said, this is the way. And then it's like the second I started selling it, you can let me know in the comments if this has happened to you too. The second I started selling it is the second I started to doubt. And I think a lot of that doubt came from other people questioning me and doubting me. What I now know is that it's not that they were doubting me, it was doubting themselves, right? Like they were fighting for their beliefs and I was fighting for mine. And what's amazing, I'm so thankful for this because what most people do is they doubt themselves. And so they do something else. They create a new offer, a new opportunity, thinking, oh, I'll feel more certain about this one. But the same thing is going to happen. Like people will still doubt you over and over again. So when I first started this company, my dad was the one that was helping me kind of build this material. He's the one that taught me sales skills. And it was a lot of work, y'all. Like we worked. Okay. This was not a joke. It was a lot of material, learning how to market it, learning how to sell it. It was just online specifically. And like content and all of that game of online marketing was just a beast. And I needed my dad's help so bad. Like I could not do it alone. And I love the man with all my heart. And he wasn't really good for much other than sales skills and teaching people sales skills. And so that was my offer. Like my back was against the wall. I was like, there's literally nothing else I can do. I don't even have the bandwidth or the capacity. And so I'm committed to this island right here, no matter what. So every time an objection was handled, I was forced to get back on the bridge and kind of question myself for a second, find where they were stuck, find that mindset block that they were thinking, and prove my case. Okay. Prove my case that my island is the way to go. And you don't think that for a second I thought maybe I can bypass all the selling and just market? Honey, I've thought it, I've heard it, I've tried it, I've done it all. And therefore, my certainty is built. Like the foundation underneath my feet is so strong because of all this time I went over the bridge over and over and over again. Now, that's the first thing, is to look for objections. The second thing is to make those objections as the very reason someone should move over your island. So I want you to think about the law of polarity. The law of polarity states that there's an equal and opposite reaction to everything. There's an equal and opposite side. There's a good thing and a bad thing. Like there's two sides to every story. So whenever someone has an objection, you can think about it as their story. Okay. It's the story of why they are on their island. And it is your job to kind of take the other side of that objection. Okay. Take the other side of their story as the reason to move forward and use that as content. Like that is your content all day long. So handle it with them individually and then take that content and make public, or take that conversation and make it public content. I am literally doing that right now. Based on the interaction I had with this guy right here, this one sentence, I was like, boom, I'm about to blow this up, this one conversation up. And also this conversation of the girl who sent me this message, like that's another perfect thing to use as public content. What is amazing about this is when you take the side of the story, their reason of not doing something is the very reason why they should. You just build up an insane amount of evidence and proof that you can use over and over and over again. So you think I haven't heard the marketing situation where it's like, hey, you just need to market, you don't need to sell. Like I hear you. And one of the best things you can do in marketing is take your sales conversations and use that as marketing material. So when you become an amazing salesperson, the byproduct of that is that marketing becomes so much easier and more fun. And you can actually make data-driven decisions accurately based on the conversations that you're having from the marketing. I can't tell you how many people have told me they want to grow their audience. They want to grow their audience before they get sales skills. And listen, let me go back to where they are. I get it. Growing the audience, there's nothing better than that feeling of going viral. It's happened a couple times for me, and I know how leveraged it feels like that one post did so much heavy lifting. And I want to encourage you to really make it a point to master converting the people who are following you right now. Because if you can't convert who's in front of you, I'm not sure what makes you think you can convert brand new people that just find you. So, mastering that skill of selling is the very thing, not only that grows your audience, but you're ready when the opportunity comes. Another thing that people love to tell me is that they are really trying to hire salespeople so they don't have to sell. And listen, I get it. I also have a team and want to hire the right people in the right places. And I also know the best way to get A players, like the best of the best, is to be a salesperson because salespeople sell people on the vision. And A players want to run with A players. Stallions run with stallions. And I don't think that there's a single stallion that is not also a salesperson. They can sell a vision, they can sell a mission, they can get people on board. And I know that you want to recruit the best of the best salespeople, yes? So you've got to become one. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. So being that person first is the very thing that's going to give you the team that you want. I'm telling you, I've spent years, almost a decade at this point, living, breathing, eating, sleeping my message to prove my case right here. Do you see it? Like there's a level of certainty that's like, whoa, she ain't going back down. And that's right. I'm absolutely not going to back down. Now, I haven't always been like this. People have come with me these objections, and I'm like, man, I kind of think that they're right. Dang it. Like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know if I have what they need. I don't know if this is the right answer. And that has been my next job is when there is an objection, when there's someone that doubts me and doubts my island, I go to where they are and I sit here for a second. I don't camp out by any means. And I certainly don't come all the way right here. I just kind of meet where they are and just sit here and just let me just be really curious and see how can I find some evidence to prove my case that my island actually is the place to go. Now, the third and final thing that you can do to develop the sales girl certainty is to create a sales message and to record yourself and post it every single day. You've got to get in this habit of creating, rehearsing, recording, and posting a sales message every single day. If I had to start over, that is the very thing that I would do. I would create a sales message and I would record it and I would post it every day, no matter what. Yes, of course, I want the result of sales, but most importantly, what I ultimately desire is to become a person that people are irresistibly drawn to. This right here, creating sales messages and delivering them with certainty, that is the process you go through to become the person that people want to say yes to before they ever hear the offer. To develop a confidence that people want to be a part of, that people can't get enough of, your job is to sell every single day to develop a sales girl certainty. And you do that by looking for objections, taking the story that they have that is their objection and using that as the very reason to really believe what you believe and to sell that identity. And lastly, take that content and create a video every single day of you selling your message. I can almost guarantee you one day you're going to look up and realize that absolutely no one can question what you have because you are insanely certain. I'll see you in the next one.